Howdy folks, happy spooky season. Today we're going to be making kazoos out of paper towel, elastics, and parchment paper. Hopefully by the end they'll sound something like this. Da, 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 da. But that's not very spooky, is it? So let's see what we can do about changing that. Alrighty, we are going to start off by making the kazoo here. Now our first step for making the kazoo will be adding little holes just about halfway point in our paper towel. One way to do this is we can grab our closed pair of scissors and just lightly push in till we get a little hole like that. From there, we can take our finger out and just grow it a little bit like that. We're gonna turn it over then and do the same thing just on the other side, pushing those scissors in lightly, just enough to break it, and then we have our other hole. Awesome. Next up, we're gonna need a little piece of parchment to wrap around one end of the kazoo, so we can just cut this away like that. That should be more than enough. From there, we wrap it around carefully. We want to try to avoid as many folds as possible right in the tip of the kazoo here, but once the rest of it is kind of around, we can then grab a elastic. You can use a hair elastic here, or if you have some of these rubber ones on hand, they work great as well. From there, we're gonna double it up to make sure it's nice and strong. Putting it right around our fingers like this and slowly rolling it just over the kazoo or the paper towel roll, making sure it gets all the way around. From there, give it a little kazoo toot and we'll see if it's working. Sounds great. Now, let's see if we can make it a little bit spookier by spicing it up with some new ideas. Awesome, so today we've got 3 different ways of spooking up our homemade kazoos. The first one, and one of the easiest ones, are gonna get a little bit more complicated as we get it, but nothing you guys can't handle. So the first one we have here is our little bat. Pretty straightforward and simple, good kazoo. Next up, we switch things up a little bit more using some parchment. This one we have a ghost with 3 different personalities depending on where you face it, looking like he's shrouded in mystery and ectoplasm or whatever it is ghosts are made out of. And then finally we have our pumpkin or jack-o'-lantern just right here. And this one's a little bit more complicated. It takes a little bit more patience, but I think it's well worth it because the end result looks really awesome. But let's get started. We are going to be making a bat kazoo. This one's going to be fairly simple and straightforward, but it's going to have big wings, and that's a big win. So I've already kind of sketched out a little bit of a stencil for our bat here. We'll be using some black construction paper here, and then we're going to come in afterwards with a little bit of white and red construction paper to kind of bring out the eyes and fangs for our Halloween bat here. So I'm just going to start cutting along. You'll see the shape that we make at the ends here. So I'm trying to keep the tops of the wings real straight like that, and then cutting out so that the head and iconic bat's ears are sticking out a little bit up top, just like that. I'll come in for the next wing. There we are. Move that to the side. Like that. Just gonna peel that over there so that we can cut that out. Just like that. Nice. So we're having the kind of bat head take shape like that. Next we're going to go in on the
Things there. Awesome. I'm gonna go in here. And we're not gonna be too fussy. We're not gonna try to make the most accurate bat. This is gonna be a very cartoony bat. And as such, it's gonna have very jagged, spooky Halloween wings. As you see me going in, cutting out kind of like the jaws of a shark. All these little teeth wings. Now, of course, please decorate this as you see fit. If you think you should have a glitter bat or a disco bat, any type of bat will do. It is up to you. I'm gonna go for a more kind of spooky shark tooth winged bat. It's a very rare species, only comes out around Halloween. You could often see them in haunted houses, spooky places, place where you feel real spooked out. There's probably a real nasty bat hanging right around the corner, because they are the kings of spook. If you haven't seen one, count yourself lucky. The shark tooth bat is quite the creature to behold. Keep an eye out this Halloween season. They got a real sweet tooth too, so careful with that candy. If you share a lot of your candy, I've heard that they'll leave you alone. They're a pretty fair species when it's all said and done. Spooky, but fair. It's not the worst combo. So that's why I'm choosing the shark tooth bat here. Shark tooth winged bat. It's a real mouthful, but so is candy, so you know, take the good and bad. You see, as I'm cutting these shark tooth wings, as they're called, this is a scientific term for them actually. I actually want to leave a flat bit right near the inside, right here. I want to leave it. In fact, I'm going to go in on this one and trim that up so that it's just a little bit flatter. And we'll see why we do that in a second. But there we have our nice little cutout of our bat wings. It's a little uneven, but that's okay. I'm sure the bat will be able to fly right. And tell you what, you can even just make it right with one little snip like that. I think that's looking pretty good. There we go. I want them lining up on that, on there just like that. Now I say to keep those flat parts down, we're just gonna go in and pick these up with the tape just like that. It worked pretty well, I would say. Let's see, oh, this is a dangerous game because whatever you put to it, it's gonna get stuck unless you wiggle it around. Awesome. So there, I think we're gonna bring that a little bit lower. I like that. And take this guy, we can peel it off. Kind of put it in just like that. So from there, we gotta pin the face on this scary, scary bat. And we'll see that. Oh, good placement if I do say so myself. This reminds me of my second rodeo. Because this ain't my first rodeo, folks. Look at that, there we go. Look at that, if that doesn't scare you, I don't know what will. It's coming, it's their season. You know, it's their land too, it's their spooky house too. So we gotta put that away. Just like that. Bring it out, any last adjustments over here to the wings. I'm liking that just like that. Now, of course, let's see No, it doesn't make any noise. Of course not. We haven't added the kazoo part. So, of course, we've got to grab these. We've already got those holes in. This one has one hole. I think that's all we'll need. We'll come back to it if it's sounding a little bit goofy. And you know what, for this one, what's cool is I think we can just tuck this guy in so it's all bat all the time over here. And look at that. So we kind of tuck it in that way. This one works pretty well to actually hold all that in place. From there, fold it in, put it on the ground. I think for this one we'll use one of my black hair elastics because it kind of fits the bat's vibe. So look at that. Mat all squared away. Let's give it a little toot. Boop, boop. Hey, and there we go. We have our scary bat all working. One thing with these pointy ears of theirs, you might want to poke those a little bit forward just so as you start to say so, it doesn't poke you in the nose. But there we go. There we have our little bat kazoo. Next up, we're gonna make a little ghost of 3 personalities. This next kazoo here is going to use a lot of parchment paper and kind of use that as a way to get some of the ghostly look we are going for. So first off, as you can see, I've got a piece of paper cut out here just to wrap around, white piece of paper to wrap around our paper roll here. Now we're gonna imagine it kind of split up into thirds, and we're gonna make our 3 ghost personalities or ghost faces just in each of the thirds with our trusty marker here. So the first face I'm gonna do, we're gonna go like this. I like these big kind of long eyes. They seem very ghostly to me. If you think that ghost should have some other types of eyes or facial features, you let me know. But these are the types that I'm thinking of. I don't think we need a ghost face here. And he is just, or a ghost nose, sorry. He's just gonna be a nice happy guy with a big smile. You can fill that in. This is our happy ghost. Why not? Let's give him some eyebrows too. And he's looking happy. Next, we're gonna make our mean ghost or our mad ghost. You know, it ain't easy in the ghost world. It's hard being around. It's hard not to pick up things. Your hand just goes right through them. I wouldn't know. I'm a real person, not a ghost. As far as I know, I can touch things just fine. But sometimes I'm sure that even ghosts have bad days. So there may be days where they're a little bit more angry, and we're gonna give him a big, more kind of frown like that. He maybe looks a little disappointed here. I don't know what's going on with our ghost friend, but that's a nice 2 little personalities that we have. This last one, I think this is kind of a classic one, you know. Ghosts are usually the ones that are spooking people, making them scared. But every once in a while, I think it's not out of the question that you get a ghost that gets a little scared itself. So we can go a little bit sharper, I think, on these, because he is really, really surprised. Look at that, our little shocked ghost there. So next, we are just going to wrap this around our toilet paper roll. And we're gonna have a look at that spacing between all the ghost faces, and I'd say it looks pretty good. Each way that you face it, you can usually you only see 1 ghost at a time. So when you're making your ghost faces, you wanna make sure that they're kind of tall and skinny and take up less than a third of the length that you have, just so that there's some room for all of it. So we're just gonna do a quick little poke here. Here we are. Like that. Then we'll bring it around like this, just rolling it all snug and tight like this. Oh, I think we can get it a little bit better of a fit. There we go, keeping it tight around. And now that it's all together, so one. Oh, we're cutting off her little ghost face there. So I'm gonna go around here. And I'm gonna start from this side actually. I'm gonna start right from this side. There we go. We want to make sure none of our faces get cut off or can be seen well. And then we go around like that. There we go. That's a much better fit. I like that a lot better. Grab some of this paper. We're going to just use tape on the whole side of it, making sure it's still as snug as possible. There you go. And we don't even mind if the tape doesn't stick flat all the way down, because honestly that might help us out as we go towards our next step here. We're just gonna finish it off so it wraps around here. Make sure we got a snug, good fit like that. So there you go. We've got our 3 personality ghost, depending on what you have. And now it's time to make him look even more ghostly. So we are gonna grab some of our parchment paper. We're going to line it up along one side just like this. And before we do that, of course we already know we need some holes for this to work as a kazoo. And so I think we're gonna be a little bit sneaky here, a little bit smart. And we're gonna actually put the holes right in some of the mouths of the ghosts, as we've done before, just taking our scissors and poking it through. That way our holes don't really show through as well on the final product. Might be a little bit harder to notice the holes in the middle. And oh, maybe Frowny Guy's got a hole in his face too. There we go. Let's see. Bam. Remember using dull scissors that are kept together and just kind of pushing it through. It's paper towel, it doesn't take much, or it's just toilet paper rolls. It doesn't take much. You just kind of have to have something pointy around that can push through. You can always ask your parents to do it for you as well, just to make sure it's all works out for you. Next up, we are gonna scrunch up our paper towel. This isn't paper towel, this is parchment. We're gonna scrunch up our parchment, and you see it just gets this cool kind of almost cracked look going on in it. And see if you lay it out flat, it's just a little bit cooler. And so now when we roll it up, look at how ghostly these guys become. You can almost not even see the face anymore. You can take off a couple of rolls. Let's just do 1 roll. There. So it looks like that's about all we need. Again, this jagged kind of look will work out for us here. So there we go. We want a loose fit too, because we're not gonna poke holes through this one, just because I think it'll look nicer if we don't. So we're just gonna kind of have a loose fit there, just like that. And once we have that down, we can tape that. First we can tape it like this on one side, just like that. Now it's gonna want to wrap around a little bit nicer. There we go. I'm gonna bring it, oop. Bring it around like that. Now, this won't stay in place too well, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold it over itself a little bit like this. Squeeze that to get a nicer fit there. Now be careful because the tape doesn't love sticking to the parchment paper like this, so I'm just gonna tape it a little bit from the inside, give it a better chance. Stain on like that. So I'm gonna do the same on this side now. Just kind of tuck it around like that. Just so it can hold up. Gonna throw some of this on the inside. Maybe that's a little big. Just like that. Now we will have the elastics as well in place, and those are going to do a lot to help keep everything together here. You know, it's hard work looking this good as a ghost, you know, it takes time. Squeeze that together. And you can see too how the faces really look like the clouded and ectoplasm or something to the effect. And you're gonna use a big piece of tape, bring it right over the front side. Now it won't necessarily want to stick to that parchment well, but when you fold it around like this, bring it back into the toilet paper on the inside, that's going to want to stay a lot better. So that's going to work out a whole lot better. Look at that. See our ghost still just hiding in there. Awesome. Next up, we are going to take to further add to the ghostly ectoplasm or whatever we have going on here. I don't know what ghosts are covered in. Maybe just whimsy and spirit. I don't know. But we're gonna kind of add more parchment to it. This is gonna be our kazoo parchment here. So we have a bigger piece than we normally would. And we're just gonna cut a lot of strips out of it like this. All kind of coming in to the center. So making a little cut. Be very careful of your fingers as you do that. So see, we have a big kind of uncut circle in the middle here. We want to keep that on, so we're gonna turn this guy upside down, bring it around like that. We are going to find our favorite hey, it was hiding on us. This is a mischievous ghost. It's already working against me. Alrighty, so we're gonna grab our elastic just like that and bring this around. Adjust it up. So see, we almost want to rip a lot of extra material out and around. And we want to leave it like that because what we're gonna do now is when it's kind of like a bouquet of ghost tail, I guess. We're gonna push it down like this. So now it's kind of facing the opposite way. So we put it on top, brought the elastic band around it, and then we folded it back over so that it's gonna hang and kind of hide that first elastic band. Then just to keep it in place, we're gonna bring another one around and kind of hold it over the elastic band. Now that all looks well and good, but then again, we came here to make musical instruments. So let's give it a try and see how our ghostly figure is working.
Da, 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 da. Boo! Oh, boo! I'm a ghost!
I think that's working just great. So there we have it. He's our new little ghost of 3 personalities. Look, you can see.
Hey! 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 Happy ghost! Oh, I'm a surprise ghost! Hey, I'm a frowny ghost!
Look at that. So you never know what you're gonna get with this 3 personality ghost. Well, there we have it. Alrighty, for this next part, we are going to need a ruler, Sharpie, and some tape. Keep your scissors on hand as well, because we are going to be making that pumpkin. So first off, we can take this off and move it to the side. We can grab that again later. We are going to put our paper towel right on the corner of the mat. Then we're going to tip it over, and that there is about all the length we need. So we're going to mark that right there. We're going to come over to this side, stand it up, and make a mark about right there to where it was. Now, we're gonna line that up. Get it generally straight. It's not the end of the world if both lines don't match up. And this is about as much paper as we need. The goal of this is we're gonna make kind of a lantern, jack-o'-lantern kind of here. So we're gonna need little folds here, right on that marker line. Nice, and I like the fold just because it helps us when we cut. We're gonna get a really straight cut on that. I trust that all of you can do a much straighter cut than me. Now don't throw this part away because we are going to use it shortly. Next up, we are going to fold this in half, just like so. We're going to get a good fold there. Then we're actually going to fold it a couple more times. So we're folding it one more way in. So we have the fold in half, then we put it kind of V side up, folded that side in. Now we're going to fold this side in. Honestly, a ruler would help out a lot here. Let's pull it out. There we go. We're going to fold that in there. Now this isn't looking very jack-o'-lantern-esque just yet, but just stay with me because in due time it will work. So now we've got 3 folds in it, should be looking like that. Now we just need 2 more folds on this piece of paper here. So we can put it flat. That ruler really helped out last time. I will try that again. So there we go, gives us a nice edge. Just kind of peel this off. Get a nice fold there. Excellent. And then one last one for our fold here. We're nice and lined up. And we are just going to fold that against the ruler there. Awesome. So we should now have this almost kind of a cauldron shape there. And that's pretty spooky themed, if you can see that. I don't know, is the camera getting a good angle on that cauldron shape? Awesome. So once we've got our cauldron shape going, we're gonna flatten it out so it's just sitting like this. Now, when we cut, we wanna cut just about all the way to this fold here. We don't need all this length though. So what we want to do to make sure we'll have enough for our roll, let's see, if we can put a little dot on our paper towel. I'm just going to put a dot right there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use that just to measure out exactly how much of this we'll need. So once we've lined it up like that, we're just going to roll this over to get about the right amount there, and then we'll give it a little bit more just so we have a little wiggle room to play with. But we definitely know, since we've rolled this out over it, that this length will be enough to cover the whole thing. So we can start off with just one big cut right where we found our little point there. Take that off. And so now this is going to take some patience, and I might do this and get back to you here with the people in the camera. But what we're going to do is we're going to go in from the fold side. You see it's opening up like that. We're going to go in from the fold side and just cut these little slivers out, going all the way from the folded side just to these two small folds that we got there right at the end, those last folds that we did. And so you see one after another, you just all the way to that, but not cutting them off, because we want to keep this all as one piece. So I'm gonna lock in and try to get all these folds back, and I'll be right back to you. Seamless cut, look at that. How'd it happen? So now that we've got it all cut up like this, on one side with small little frills, we are going to pull it apart here. We'll see, we'll bring back some of those folds, kind of bring it out a little bit more, just like that. And now massage it. It's going to be very brittle or easy to kind of mess up here. But this is kind of what we are looking for. You see all the cuts have gone all the way just to or a little bit past that back cut there, the cut on the edge, on the non-folded edge, and that is exactly what we're looking for. So next up here, we're gonna go back. Oh, before we do that, as I mentioned here, we're gonna want to cover the inside. Now, as you do this, I can already hear you screaming at me from your computers. You said, Tom, but what about the holes in the side? And I would say, great thinking. We got to make sure those holes are still open. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna roll this bad boy up one more time, just enough so that it's round. That looks to be like plenty of paper to cover the inside with our Jack-o'-lantern orange here. We can cut that off. There you go, that's nice and snug, like a bug in a rug. From there, we can keep that where it is. We're gonna grab a little bit of tape. See, you can already see by my hands, this will be a lot easier and a lot more fun if you have someone helping you out, instead of just pointing the camera in your face and grinning at all your shortcomings. I'm sure you all can find some good assistance here. I'm kidding, cameraman's doing great. Very thankful for our camera operators here. Look at that. So now that it is wrapped around and ready to go again, taping it to it here, we can take out our scissors again, and we can find the holes from the inside and then just lightly press through just enough so that it pokes through again and we find our holes like that. I think just 1 or 2 holes will be all we need For this guy, we can find that hole in the inside. Again, very important, closed scissors, and then just kind of pushing it in. We're not trying to stab or anything like that. We're just working it in, maybe giving a little massage or a little twist here and there, just to get enough. Just be very careful as you do that. And if your scissors are pointy, then just don't do it, or ask an adult, because they'll be able to help you out there. But there we are. We have our jack-o'-lantern ready to go. And now to put on some shape to this here form. So first off, we're just gonna line up one edge with the corner here. We're gonna put that just like that. Gonna grab some tape. And what works really well is you want the tape about half on the jack-o'-lantern like that, so it's looking over a lot. You line it up right with the edge of that toilet paper roll, and you just fold that over just like that. There we go, that's a good grip. I think I missed a little bit on the end, so I tell you what, we're going back. We can add more tape. We can always add more tape. You know, it's hard to take the tape away once it's already there. The tape likes doing its job, but you see that? That's a really good tape. When you do it the first time, you want a tape that looks like that. So here we are, we're just gonna fold that over again. Give it a little squeeze, make sure it's looking all good. Then we're gonna line this up, put it back over here to the other side. And we are gonna grab some tape. Now this time we're gonna push it a little bit further back. That's just so that we have enough room to tape on the, put the parchment paper back on to make our sweet, sweet kazoo noise. So from here, once both sides are taped, you can see how that, oh, let's fix that fold right there. Silly fold, that's not where you should go. Awesome, so once we have both sides back on, we're just gonna start working these things around, and as you'll see, the pumpkin is taking shape. See, if we didn't add that one layer in the middle, then it would have just been boring old toilet paper roll in the middle, and that's not what we want. We want cool, spooky lantern, and that, look at that, with a nice fitting like that, it is going fine. Now, look at this, we have a fair bit of overlap here, so I think we can just get rid of the last few ones. That's nice, so you always want to have a little bit more than a little bit less. So I'm just gonna, let's see, it looks like it overlaps right around here. So I'm gonna let it overlap still, but I'm gonna take these ones and look, just rip it off, it's paper. We have the technology. See, we can go there, put it on your finger there, and just pull it off like that. Now it is right to a size of our liking. Looking really good, I'd say. Let's grab some tape. Now we've got it all sized up. And we can bring that around here. So here we are. We got it nice line up there. And put that tape on. Here we are. So that side's all good. Now let's move on over to the other side here. Get it nice lined up. This would be a good time to just kind of adjust those folds. You can see how those 3 folds, or I guess 5 off the top, really help get us into the world of pumpkin shape. Otherwise, we'd be looking a little bit more diamondy or a little bit more pointy. And I don't know about you, but I haven't seen many pointy jack-o'-lanterns, especially when it comes to the size like this. They're mostly round. I mean, people carve them too, but who's got time for that in this economy? So we got our tape lined up all good. Adding that there. And now just the final step to put back that parchment. In fact, oh, it's a little shaky here, so I'm gonna add some tape to it around here, build it back and grab our parchment, and so we can make this a working kazoo again. We'll see you again. Voila, look at that. So once you've got it all secured around some good tape, make sure that you leave a good bit of room on one side so you can put the parchment back on. But just like that, we have our spooky pumpkin kazoo. Let's hear it. Spooky pumpkin kazoo. Just like that.